ɗaya yanzu shinkafa yanzu 700 shakare.
Time yana yi yana shan wahala sosai dole kullum yana zanga-zanga wajen kai gyara guda biyu ne amma duk da haka aikin yana musu.
So we service regularly, and also like what we said, that we have to maintain a time when we put off the generator.
For almost a year in 2021, most parts of Borno State in northeastern Nigeria were without electricity, courtesy of the power transmission and distribution lines destroyed by terrorist groups waging war against the Nigerian state. The ensuing darkness as a result of the damages has further impoverished the residents, as businesses which rely on power supply had been shut down or nearly collapsed, while the government spent a huge fortune to power generating sets in running its administration. The economic impact of the lack of power supply for nearly a year in the troubled state has been as much devastating as a 12-year reign of terror in the state itself. Ismail Bala is a tailor in the town of Borno and a 200-level student of Borno State Polytechnic. He has managed to put himself in school through his tailoring business. He is also the breadwinner of his family, as he manages the welfare of his father, mother, as well as other relatives. But since the shutdown, the constant use of generator is becoming unbearable for the young tailor, as it now affects his means of livelihood. On January 26, 2021, a terrorist group attacked a 330 kV power transmission line along Maiduguri-Damaturu Road. This put several communities in 22 local government areas among the 27 local councils in Borno State into darkness. On Saturday, March 27, 2021, the terrorists planted improvised explosive devices and destroyed the two newly erected towers. 6 months later, they blew up other transmission lines. And since then, the energy cost of running the government and private businesses in the state has put a huge strain on public service delivery. A charging booth operator, Dauda Dahiru, says the unavailability of power supply has made business difficult to run and hard to meet customers' need. He said constant dependence on generator is not cost effective.
Anytime yana yi yana shan wahala sosai dole kullum yana zanga-zanga wajen kai gyara.
Jan ɗin guda ɗaya ne ko biyu?
Guda biyu ne amma duk da haka aikin yana musu.
So aiki na musu yakan ba kuɗi ba ne kenan a gare ka?
Kuɗi ne yake zuwa amma idan aka ce ba da wuta a gari din.
So many businesses dependent on electricity are also feeling the pinch.
Only few people can make it. But for the people that doesn't have much capital, they're struggling.
While most are complaining, generator repairers at Gamboru Market like Abba Ali are making profits.
Kasan da ko wutan nan mutane ba su da su gyara janareto yanzu da ba wuta kowa yana fighting saboda ya samu wuta. Ba wuta ba zai wuce janareto kuma nan gaba da ni charges.
Amma nawa kake tafi?
Na expecting da ko da ta
500 700 ko kuma 700.
700 mama ko 5 mama na ta.
Ma Tigers.
No, now is people are, you can't compare with previous and present. You can't compare. People are buying more than past
because of the electricity.
because of the electricity. At least a month we are selling 2 to 3 tanker. Now we are selling even 4 to 5 tanker in the month.
Most humanitarian organizations in the state are spending so much to function in their workspace, as amounts spent to fuel and service generators in most of these organizations have doubled. A UNICEF official in the state says the cost of operations in 2021 has increased by 18%, when compared to the year 2020. She said this has caused a huge spending on fuel consumption, noting that this has also affected the living condition of their staff residing in the state.
We have a number of different buildings here. We also have 2 guest houses and we also have warehouses. So not having the electricity on the national power grid has significantly increased our fuel consumption. And so the price of fuel has also gone up. In terms of the cost for us, if we were to compare 2021 to 2020, it actually has, the price for us has gone up by 50%.
Wow.
We are completely dependent on the fuel and generators. And in terms of the actual fuel itself, it's about 20% increase since last year.
Meanwhile, WHO representative Dr. Isiaka Ayodiji Hassan told the ICIR that they were working towards installing other alternative sources of energy like solar in order to support the generating sets working around the clock. He believes the state government is working tremendously to see that power is restored in the state.
We have generator, and just the way we do it here, that's what we do over there as well.
Okay.
If we are in the office, they switch it off there.
Okay.
Until you come in the evening.
Okay.
So, and then, of course, if there are in between this period, I can decide to be at the EOC where there's also light.
So you shuttle between the cell, office, and EOC.
And then if we want to go for training, usually it's in an hotel, which they have to also provide because we are paid for the service. So honestly, for me, I have not really experienced anything negative, except for the fact that I know it's not like that for everyone.
Public institutions are not spared by the darkness too. According to the Borno State Airport Manager Muhammad Jamilu Bashir, the airport consumes 60,000 litres of diesel within 2 months, whereas the same quantity lasted for 4 months in the past. He said efforts have been put in place to ensure that flight activities and securities around the airport are not disrupted.
It's affecting the operations here, but at the same time we are trying to manage ourselves. Headquarters do give us diesel, and we manage it 1-2 months before we, sometimes up to more than 2 months before we demand another one. But actually, if not because we planned our operations, then definitely we cannot do otherwise. Yeah, we use diesel.
Okay, diesel.
Yeah, we use diesel actually, and it's not easy actually to use gen from morning to night. Sometimes we got delayed. The aircraft. The aircraft sometimes that's supposed to come in the afternoon will get delayed to maybe 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night. Just like yesterday, one of the flights got delayed. It came after
Max.
8. Max, actually, it came after 8.
But the Borno State government is not folding its arms. The State Commissioner of Finance says the state government is planning to build alternative sources of energy across the state.
About the
Solar farm, yes.
We are working with we just finished the meeting with the few stakeholders. We want to know the capacity within which the state government can consume. After then we will decide how much. There are some issue about waste. Is it waste management that they will come? They want to partner with us. So now we have started working on it. So I invited the TCM, NEPA, this is PSCN, and then the RED. We are going to form a committee whereby we are going to plan for 5 years.
5 years.
So that how much are we going to consume power in a day, in a week, in a month. So we want to have that plan. Then if you plan it, you will know the amount of solar farm that you are going to construct, and at the same time you will know the amount of waste that you can gather for the generation to generate the power to the level of capacity demanded. We need that. We need 7 megawatts, 70 megawatts.
70 megawatts.
Yes, 70 megawatts.
His Excellency, I think, decided to go, the extra mile of asking most of this organization and asking the Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Technology to see an alternative sources of energy, like provision of solar panels, provision of this to most of the government, especially hospitals, where they need constant electricity. So most of the hospitals and most of schools that are in operation, what they usually do is they now decided to getting an alternative sources, because to be quite honest with you, it's not even sustainable for you to run a generator on 24/7.
When you talk about electricity, you understand that electricity itself, even the distribution, the transmission, all those aspects are balkanized. It's not a bulk thing anymore. So there are a lot of aspects of electricity supply. You have these transformers, there are conveyors. We have, what do you call them? Cables, armor cables, that takes from the main supply, that's the transformer probably, and then conveys out. So if those transformers, are lacking, or the cables that connects to them, to the end users, are pulled out and stolen, well, how do you address that? Would the transformer be of any use?
I guess.
Again, the children may not, a child is seen to be, the mind of a child is said to be tabula rasa. That's the saying of Professor Jim Tige, one of the proponents of child psychology, that the child's mind is tabula rasa. It's plain, it's blank, and the child learns from the significant members of his or her community. Consequently, some of these children have been sent on these things by elders. And that's what you said in Law of Thoughts, that the first would say, okay, ad litem. That's ad litem now is a Greek word meaning that a guardian. So such children are being guided by elders to go and perpetrate this crime because they know in law they don't have capacity of their own.